Close Up is brought to you by the Kia Sorento R, redefining the power of Kia.
The issue of gay marriage has been on the New Zealand radar for years now, and arguments surrounding it have been heating up as the same-sex legislation makes its way through Parliament. Now, part of the parliamentary process is that anyone, any interested parties can make a submission before a select committee. Yesterday, one of those was our very own Matt McLean. Look, Matt, what interests me is you're a journalist, and traditionally we try and stay neutral, we keep out of issues. Why did you decide then that it was important for you to actually get out there and make a submission?
Yeah, it was a big call. I mean, I'd like to think that being gay isn't the most interesting thing about me, but it is something, it is a part of me, and I've been proudly out for 6 years now. And so the issue of gay marriage has obviously caused huge debate around New Zealand, and it's something that I feel personally very strongly about. So about a month ago, I made a personal submission to the Selects Committee, and I got a call up to ask if I would like to speak to my submission yesterday in Parliament, and I decided that I would, because it's really important to me.
Does everyone get asked?
No, there's thousands. I mean, for this, there's been thousands of submissions, and they pull out certain ones that they're interested in hearing from. Because,
you know, you work out of our Wellington office, you've been over covering Parliament, you've been sitting in select committees on the other side, on the press bench, watching it and watching them go through the process. What was it like to actually be in it?
Terrifying. I was sweating, sweat was dripping off my forehead. I was extremely nervous, and the reason why I was so nervous about it was because I really wanted to make sure that I did a good job. I wanted to do a just job for my community, and I wanted to make sure that the things that I was putting forward would actually be beneficial. So it was a frightening process, but the MPs that were there yesterday were all extremely welcoming, very friendly. It was very straightforward. I just spoke to my written submission, and then they asked me a couple of questions around why I thought it was so important.
And any other sort of just pretty straightforward stuff?
Very straightforward. It took 15 minutes. There were only a couple of questions at the end of it that they had for me, and then that was it. I was ushered out, and they took the next person up to give their oral submission as well.
Not many people see, you know, our democracy working sort of first-hand like that. Were they listening serious? I mean, did you think this was a process where you were getting a hearing, or interested in what you had to say, or was it going through the motions?
No, I think that they were very interested to hear what I said, which was heartening. And I knew that they had read my written submission, because the questions that they were asking me were based on some of the things that I'd written down. So I knew that it had actually been read by the MPs that were there, and that was good to know.
You see, it's interesting, this debate. I was reading in the Herald today this business about Mike King was tweeting and saying, look, come on, some footy players, you know, sports people who want to get involved and stand up for this law change, and he got no responses. No. Is there still a bit of that attitude that, oh, we don't want to be seen to be associated with gay issues?
I think it's definitely changing, which is really good. I remember Gareth Thomas, the Welsh rugby player, was, I think, the first in the sport, in the professional sport, really, to come out. And the response that he got from his teammates and the public was fantastic. But it is something, especially in sport, I guess, there's probably not a lot of people that are prepared to make a stand. It's a tough thing to do, as I've found out over the last couple of days.
OK, well, what sort of response did you get?
Phenomenal. I mean, the important thing for me is that I really wanted to get the message out there. I think it is terrible that we don't have marriage equality in this country. The fact that there's a certain section of society, our New Zealand society, that aren't afforded the same rights as others, to me, is outrageous, and not the New Zealand that I know and love. And so I think something definitely needs to change. So that's why I decided that it was important to stand up and actually say something. And I'm glad I did. This response I've had today has been amazing. My Twitter feed has gone crazy with people messaging support. I got an email from a guy today, 29-year-old heterosexual male who's getting married in a month, who said that he said that it was so amazing to read what I had said in terms of the fact that we should be allowed to marry the people that we love, because that is what marriage is to me at the end of the day, is just making that commitment to the person you love.
Now, in terms of the people you love, your dad sent you a message as well.
Yeah, part of my submission was around my dad, and just the fact that when I came out 6 years ago, He said that he was disappointed, not in me, but in the things that he thought I might miss out on in terms of having a marriage, having a wedding and starting a family. But to me, it's important to point out that when you come out as a gay man, it's not that you want to forego your right to a family. I very much want those things. I want to get married and I want to have the option of having children as well. So, so that was part of my submission, and Dad has been amazing and so supportive ever since I came out 6 years ago. And he sent me a text yesterday before I appeared in front of the select committee just saying that he's never been prouder, and he said, "Go make a difference," which was the most amazing thing to hear from Dad. So
that's right. You need to. It's good to have Dad on your side.
Exactly, exactly.
Hey, listen, thanks so much, Matt.
Thank you.
It was what an amazing experience to go through. And of course, you'll be back with us tomorrow night
Exactly,
for our last program.
Final show.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for being part of it tonight.
Thank you very much.